Well, what's going on, YouTube world? Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is today that I am filming this is actually July 3rd. So it'll be, obviously you're going to be seeing this a few days later. I am finally able to start working on the old Ford again. I managed to put together what I need to get at least the first part of this project, and as you can tell from the thumbnail, a stainless steel brake line kit from the master cylinder to the proportioning valve and all the way back. That is the biggest part of the project for this particular video, I'll show you some of the parts that I got. I'll show you the brake line kit and the company that I got the kit from, just in case you're interested in getting one for yourself, because it is a well-made kit. And also I got a brass proportioning valve, and also I have everything to do the drum brakes on the rear. Okay, now first I will start off with this particular pile. Now this is everything here to do the drums. You do the whole rear brakes on this thing. Now, as I said, I have been setting on all these parts since 2018. I got the two drums, I got the brake shoes, and let's see. Well, here is, let me get this out of here, hopefully without dropping it on the ground here. Now here is the fancy proportioning valve. And you gotta admit, that is a whole lot nicer than trying to put some factory something back on it. All right, these are from the front wheel bearings. So here I got the center. This is the center brake hose, which you can't really see it from here, but it comes in right there. Feeds both the backs. Got the brake hardware. Got the self adjusters, should be two of them right there, and got both wheel cylinders, and these are brake line clips. I did buy these, even though oh yep, that's what that's for. I forgot, that's for that one there. so that is everything for to do the rear, which is going to be the first thing that I work on, honestly. I'm gonna get these wheels off and I'm gonna tackle those, because honestly, doing drum brakes, I'm gonna tell you right now, I believe, all honestly, it's gonna be harder for me to do than the brake line kit, because I'm just not good at drum brakes. So let's move on to the brake line kit. Now, as I said, I will shout out to the company Inline Tube. They are you can't beat the prices for this, and for what you get, it is pretty nice. And of course, it gives you a layout of everything that's in your kit, and their location on your specific truck. It lists everything here or whatever. So but we'll just go through and take a look at it. Of course, if you're watching this, obviously you know where these two go. These are the two that come off of the master cylinder. So, and you can see they are they're built very nice, and they got all the nice aluminum fittings on here and everything. And I want to say this is one side that goes to a wheel, and this one goes to the other side of the wheel. The other side, like this, these are going to be the front ones here. And no, this is the other side wheel. That's one wheel, that's one wheel. I do know that. And there is a cattywampus one in here that I want to point out to everyone here. Now, obviously you got a long one that needs to come down lengthwise of the truck. Well, that is this one here, and this is what they actually call a shipping bend. So this right here, I have to be really careful, but then again, it is stainless. It does pretty well when you try to bend it. I do actually have to straighten this out. So, like I said, this is what they call a shipping bin, so they can put it in the box and ship it to you. So, and that's literally the only one of the kit that needs to be bent like that. But as you can see, yes, it looks like a tangled mess because I just have them all laying together here or whatever, but they are very nice. I mean, they are actually it look like they're built really nice, and the bends are really nice on them too. And like I said, in stainless steel, you just can't beat it anyways, and I think that's the best for a truck. And they also offer new trans cooler lines as well. Now these are just regular steel lines. These are basically going to be kind of like OEM. You know, it's relatively cheap to buy these steel ones. I didn't figure I needed the stainless steel ones, so I just went ahead and bought just the regular ones. Since I got to tear that apart anyways, I figure might as well go ahead and get that as well. So, but that actually, this won't be until a different video, honestly. So I'm gonna tell you right now, this right here is going to be the first time I have ever seen behind this drum right here. And you know, I've been riding in this truck since I was like 3 feet tall, and I honestly, I don't ever remember my dad doing rear brakes on this thing. So let's see how this looks. Let's see. Wow, there's definitely, oh wow, there's a lot of dust. Whoa. Whew. So there is a pretty good groove right there. You could definitely tell these things, let's see if I can see, yeah, they've been on there a while. And yeah, looks like that pad there. Let's just, yeah, let me bring this over here to you. Alright, so, and you can kind of see, let's see if I can get this thing to focus. Yeah, there's well, it's not focusing here. There's barely any pad or any shoe left on it. Of course, the one actually is not that bad, but alright, so I got everything tore apart here. Got the bracket for my parking brake. And you know, because I really don't, I'm not good at this, so I pretty much laid everything out how it come apart. Now as far as back here, let's see, okay, is this thing going to focus at all? Probably not. Okay, gotta love it. Hold on. Okay, so obviously, you know, that's not going to come loose. I tried a little bit, but there's no point in even worried about trying to get that line. Come on now. Okay, trying to get that line to come loose when I am replacing the whole line anyways. So at this point, what I need to do is I need to get this rear line and bring it under here and match it up to make certain that it is the exact correct one for it before I go and cut this line. So that's what I'm gonna do real quick. You really want to match it up, of course. You see, you know, they do the bends a little bit different, a little bit better, I would probably imagine. But you see that one there fits perfect, so that's the correct line for there. And then it's just a short line, goes from the block and the center hose, that's what it's called. And you know, and that side matches up perfect. So I just wanted to make sure before I cut those lines that I have the correct ones. All right, now one more thing that I do want to check, which is probably a good idea before you start to clean, is the rear axle seals. Now you see down here, let's see, it's so hard to see, there's not really any kind of leaking of any sort. I know it looks like it's wet, but it's not. It's just, you know, what, 43 years of dirt and, you know, brake dust and stuff like that. But yeah, from looking in there, it doesn't look like there's any kind of leaking or anything. So that's always good, because I mean, obviously if that wheel seal or that axle seal is leaking, now is the time to replace that. So while I have everything apart, but it's not leaking, so I'm not gonna have to tear it apart. Both sides are tore clear apart, got the brake line cut, and they are both clean. This side actually came a lot cleaner. Man, I can get used to this. Got me some good fries, nice cold drink. Can't hear the music, but there's music playing over there too. It's kind of nice. Now to put everything back together. I got the wheel cylinder in. I'm getting ready to put the little plungers or whatever you want to call them, or little bolts that go in there. And I've got everything pretty much laid out that I need for this side. After her, well, yeah, I'm not going to get into how long this took me, because like I said in the beginning of the video, I am not good at drum brakes, so I am definitely not here to try to teach you how to do drum brakes. But I will tell you, they suck. Okay. Yep. Looks like it's got a little bit of scraping, but so it looks like it's pretty simple. Looks like these little clamps, I mean, they just been down there like that. I've already got this, can you see that? Yeah, barely. I already got that one bent out of there. And this is definitely, I'm not sure what this, it's like a line or something, but just a bolt that goes down through the block here and holds that on there. And I'll probably, you know, I'm gonna take that bolt out, and honestly I'll probably just I don't know, I might just cut that hose right there and put me some oil dry down there and just let it drain or something, because, which is weird, you know, I cut that and there's like no brake fluid come out of there. So I got a feeling that proportion valve is really bad up there. So I got no brake fluid leakage at all, and I've done cut both, you know, the line on both sides. All right. Of course, this is the end that goes to the proportion valve. And you see all the bends are pretty good. Now the shipping bend was around about right there. I've done straightened it out, and looks like I am gonna have to get a little another union. I didn't, you know, I thought maybe it was just all one piece. I thought maybe I was getting lucky there, but all right. Now for this part right here, now obviously this part here is the end where it goes into the brake hose, but you see there's a bend in there. There is a little bit of a trick to bending these. Now of course you see, we just kind of put these right here, and you see how they match up pretty good. Now for these shipping bends, I know a lot of people are probably going to be scared to death of trying to bend this straight. I will show you a little trick that I did figure out that seems to help, or seems to make it a little bit easier. Now you need to straighten this out, obviously. So luckily there's a spring, you know, it's kind of like a protector, someplace where there's probably a lot of vibration where this particular part of the line sits. What you can actually do is you can actually use that, put your fingers against, you know, the line, and maybe thumb or whatever, and kind of hold that a little bit. And what you do is you basically, you use your stomach, and like I said, you hang on to this, because this will actually give you a little bit of grip on the line, and it actually keeps the line from twisting on you. It's weird, I don't know how, but, and then you can, you know, and now you got a nice little hook here, so it makes it easier. So you just kind of push it against your stomach and let it push into your stomach, because as you know, it's weird, but as you're pushing into your stomach, you're creating a little more of a, I want to say, footprint, which will actually bend it more straight, you know, easily. And with this side, you can kind of pull a little bit too, and you just kind of push it against there like that. Now I don't know how far I need to go yet, so I need to you don't want to bend it too far, because you want to make sure you get your bends in the right spot. And that's pretty much it on the shipping bends. I actually was able to, I actually got it bent perfectly just that first time like that. And like I said, these little springy thingies, now obviously this goes, you know, it was in this general area, so I'm assuming it goes, it's probably going to go on that bend, or it might go right there, I'm not too sure. Won't really know until I get it on there. I know, actually, you know what? On the old one, it's actually right here. Not too sure, maybe it's going to be somewhere right there, but we'll figure it out once we get it on the truck. But that's pretty much it of that. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do, which, you know, I'm sure I'll get some feedback about this. I'm going to go ahead and thread this side into the wheel cylinder there. And reason being is because I am, I'm under here working by myself, and the wheel cylinder will just act as an extra hand holding it still for me. So, because these little clamps that hold this line on here is, they're pretty decent, and they're pretty easy to just go ahead and bend back. Don't mind my hair. Let's see if I can get this thing in there. Not cooperating with me. All right. Sometimes you just gotta get your line straight. Now, of course, I'm not gonna tighten it all the way up because I need to be able to move a little bit. All right. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put it up underneath there like that. And I have a rubber mallet that I'm going to just, and this clip is up here, so it's just going to go right under there like that. And this one, that one there didn't actually hold it really tight. It was a little bit loose like that, but it's bent all the way down and actually touching the pumpkin here. So, it's looped all the way over the way it was. And so, see, it's nice when you kind of mount that, and you can, you might have to bend a little bit here and there, to get everything perfectly right. And another thing I want to point out is, you want to be careful. The bolt for the, that goes down in there that holds the brake hose on. I mean, it's just a wide open hole. And there was actually another one of these that came in, I don't know, I don't remember where I seen it. It came in something. I was actually going to stuff that in there while I was under here finagling around so I didn't get any dirt down in the rear end, but this one ought to be fairly easy. I mean, it is a small line, and of course, like I said, I won't tighten it all the way up yet, because if you notice, can you see this? Well, you can kind of see it. Let's see. There we go. Not sure if you can see that, but they're obviously not both where they need to be. So, you can bend it down just a little bit. So we'll go ahead and get the brake hose. Yeah, boy, I tell you what, I'm gonna sneeze my brains out today. That one at a little bit of an angle, so I'm gonna have to kind of put it up just a little bit. Get that thing to thread in there perfectly. Alright, well, that's what's good about my channel. I kind of learn as I go, and I try to teach what I've learned, basically. So what I end up having to do is I took this bolt back out to pull the brake line back, or the brake hose back off. That way it's easier to thread both the lines in. So I got them threaded in there pretty good, and then bolted that back down, and then of course tightened those up. I tightened them both on the wheel cylinders, and the rear is complete. Alright, now for the hooking the brake hose up, I said this is usually, well, this is it's called the rear brake hose on these trucks. A lot of times, a lot of vehicles, it comes in and it'll be like right here, so it's called the center brake hose. But in this particular application, they just call it the rear. So what I did was, you just run, you put the line through the hole, and your brake hose actually goes into this hole, and then I've got, oh, damn, can't hardly see. Okay, there we go. Got new brake hose clips, and it's easier to put it through there, put it together, and that way you can finagle both sides, whatever, however you need to get it together, and then you just simply shove it through there, and I'll put the clip on there, and then this back here is going to be pretty much done. Anything left to do is tighten up the fitting there. I think we're at the lovely part to where I can go ahead and probably just cut these lines to make it easier. Go ahead and unbolt the proportioning valve. Alright, so proportioning valve is out. One thing I do have to change is this sensor, because this is a 2-wire sensor here, and obviously it hooks up a little bit different versus this one here, try not to touch it because my hands are so dirty, is only a 1 wire. Well, I thought it was a good idea. See, this is the old one. You know, like I said, it's 2 wire. And you push on it, still plunges, or whatever in the world this thing does. I have to Google that. And, yeah. Huge difference. Not going to work. So that means I'm going to have to figure out this setup. I'm assuming this is only a 1 wire setup. And see if I can hook my truck up that 1 wire setup. Is this... Well, I tell you what. No, okay, well, this is a 1 wire setup. It just for some reason has 2 plugs. Because it's only got 1 probe that goes down into there, and it just for some weird reason just got 2 to plug in like that. So it's already a 1 wire setup. I just got to figure out how to... Maybe I can just take the wire apart and just plug the wire down in there and put the boot around it or something. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Alright, so I got a little carried away. And, see, I got the line on the driver's side there. Got it hooked to the new hose. You know, it goes in there. It comes around there pretty good. And it's, you know, it's pretty much where it needs to be. But of course this one for the passenger side, you know, oh, I'm in the shadow. So, you know, it goes in there perfectly fine, and, you know, and it's shaped pretty much, you know, in the basic way that it needs to be. But as you can see, with these kits, you are going to have to finagle them just a little bit and bend them, you know, bend them down a little bit, because they're not, you know, 100% perfect. But as you can see, once I put it down there like that, and then it's going to go right into the proportion valve right there like that, and it's going to set right where it needs to be. So that'll be perfectly fine. Alright, so again, you know, I got a little carried away again. So I got the proportioning valve in. Of course, the line, which is right here, for the rear, you know, I had to do a little bending or whatever to get it to go in there. And of course I got the driver's side, I got the passenger side line in, and was, you know, in my last clip I was attempting, you know, the ones off the master cylinder. So just wanted to show you underneath here what's going on. Now a lot of you watching this video may be returning to my channel for this exact purpose that I'm about to show you and tell you. Because when you buy aftermarket parts, it doesn't matter if they say it's made for your vehicle or not, exact OEM specifications, bolt right up. Well, I'm here to tell you that is a big capital B and S. That it never works. It don't work. And in a lot of videos, a lot of people don't show you the bad part of trying to install stuff. So, as you can see, no brake lines. Absolutely no brake lines. I only have the old ones there cut and crimped so the master cylinder don't leak, which doesn't really leak anyways. But here is, let me get out of the shadow, the basics. Okay, so the old one comes out of the master cylinder and comes in this direction, comes down here, it's got the little curly Q here, and then it comes down to that little bolt that I showed you in the last video, and then it goes down basically in front of the headers. I know you can't really see that, you know, down there. Yeah, and that space there goes in front of the headers and then back to the proportion valve. Well, the new setup, for some reason, the new one actually comes in from this side, from the back side, and comes down around here. It's got both the little curly Q's here and goes down that way underneath the steering column there, and past, you know, kind of like underneath the gearbox or whatever it is down there, and finagles in around to the proportion valve, which I'm gonna tell you right now does not work. Like, it does not work. So I sat and fought and fought and fought for 2 hours. So this line here is the front that comes off the master cylinder, and as you can see, as I'll bring it up here and show you. Alright, so I'm not going to put it over in the front there because it's a pain, but you can see this is how it goes. You know, it comes around underneath the master cylinder, it goes in and plugs in and comes down on this side. All right. Well, these bends, I mean, look at this thing already, and I've barely even got it to where it needs to be, and that is not even the bend that this thing was to begin with. You could see it's cattywampus everywhere for me trying to get it to fit. And then lo and behold, that fitting right there is not the right fitting for down on the proportioning valve. I need this same size fitting right here, which is entirely different. So for about 2 hours I'm fooling with this stupid thing, trying to get it to go in there. Can't figure out why it won't thread in there. It threads into another spot on the proportioning valve, but will not thread into where it needs to go. And then finally, I ended up completely taking the proportioning valve back off the truck again, completely off the truck, undone all 3 other lines, had the thing as far down as I could possibly get it with that line coming down through, and tried to thread it in there, and then that's when I realized it just falls down into the hole. It's way too small. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I have fooled and fooled and fooled with this thing 2 hours, and I cannot figure, I can't get it. It just, for some reason, won't thread in. So, and I said, you know what, well that's ridiculous. So I put the proportion valve. Oh wow, that was an RX-7. Oh yeah, there's an RX-7, I think, with a 5.0 engine in it. I think that was it, running around town here. It's pretty badass. But anyways, so I figured, okay, well, there goes a redneck. All right, so I figured I'd put the proportioning valve back on the truck, put the lines back on it, which, you know, it's all that's not easy at all. And I figured, okay, well, I will just do this one. I'll go ahead and hook this one up. I'll figure that one out later. I'm going to have to obviously get a different fitting. And I'm going to tell you right now that it doesn't work. It does not work. I mean, there is absolutely no way to finagle this dumb thing to go from the master cylinder to around the backside, underneath the master cylinder, around that way, to get it to where it needs to be. And the bends just are absolutely not where they need to be. They're up against the header, and it just, you know, I'm done fooling with it. This is obviously, this is not the right one for this truck. It can't possibly be the right one. But since I've done destroyed them, they're getting copper ones. I am going to get some copper ones, and I'm just gonna have to make my own. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some copper lines. I only gotta get one more fitting, because obviously I've got the right fittings here. And I've seen many of these trucks, people put the copper ones on there, and you can put a little loop in it if you want, whatever. I probably won't. I'm just gonna run them on down through there, and that's it. And then at least the brake lines will be done. But I'm really not happy with, you know, getting this kit and then those are wrong. I mean, they're not even routed in the same way, in the same place that the factory OEM ones were routed. So naturally that kind of aggravates me. I mean, I spent an entire day trying to figure this out. So it's a day wasted, and now I'm out of time probably for another month. So, you know, it really sucks. So unfortunately, that's going to be an end to this video. Hopefully, if I get any free time between now and 2 months from now, I don't know when, I will try to make an update video of doing the copper lines down to the proportioning valve. And then I have a, for the brake bleeding, I actually have a hand pump. So you can pump it by hand, and you know, it makes bleeding your brakes, you know, by yourself a whole lot easier. So hopefully that will all work out, and I will be able, oops, there we go, and I will be able to get this thing back together and move on to the next project. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the update video on the brake line kit.